challenges to reservation policy and way forward, organized by our Empower Trust, wing of Union Bank of India, BC Employees Welfare Association. We welcome first respectable Asiriyar, President of Dravidar Kazhagam, Dr.K.Veeramani. The Asiriyar only has inaugurated our first Union Bank Employees Welfare Association conference in 1994 at Erode, and he is giving full support and guidance for the uplift of the OBC members, and he was the chief guest. He was the chief guest for our Silver Jubilee celebration, which was celebrated at Madurai in 2009, and we are sure that he will be the chief guest for our celebrations also, and we are getting full support from him. And he is the person who has given first report on zero reservation in medical seats for UG and PG, and then only our political leaders gave the report. Next, we welcome Thiru.P.Wilson, senior advocate and honorable member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, Dravidar Kazhagam, and he is the very senior advocate, and he has taken the issue of zero reservation for medical seats in Madras High Court, Supreme Court, and also in Parliament. And many times he has reminded he will work sincerely, regularly, follow up and remind to ensure that to get the benefit to the OBC members, we want constitutional protection. That is why he is fighting for us, and we welcome him for this Zoom meeting. And we welcome G.Karunanidhy sir. He is the trustee of the Empower Trust, president of All India BC Employees, Union Bank BC Employees Welfare Association, president of Union Bank State Welfare Association, and general secretary of All India Federation of BC Employees, which consists of all organizations. And he founded the organization in 1994, and he works tirelessly towards resolving for the struggles of our members, and he ensures that members are getting the benefits of the whatever is as per the constitution. He gets all the data, and recently we know that he is the person who has obtained all the data that we are in zero reservation in medical seats, and not only that, even in NLU, National Law University. We welcome all the trustees of the Empower Trust, office bearers, committee members, and other members of the All India Union Bank Employees Welfare Association. We also welcome office bearers, committee members of the state units, general secretaries, and the state unit office bearers, committee members, and other members. We welcome the office bearers, committee members of the All India Federation of BC Employees Welfare Association, and even the members of all other organizations who have joined in the meeting. And there are life members. We welcome the life members who have joined in this meeting, and the members who have come and joined in our meeting, which was organized by our president, Mr. G.Karunanidhy, the advisors, all ladies and gentlemen. We thank Mr. G.Karunanidhy, who has arranged this Zoom meeting to get all the details of the challenges in reservation policy, and also what we have to do in further and forward. That is, we thank you. We welcome the Asiriyar and Thiru.P.Wilson sir, and everyone. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Ravikumar. Dear friends and our respected leader, Asiriyar, our Honorable Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, Senior Advocate, T.Ravikumar sir, and Working President of the AIOBC Federation, Mr. J. Parsardi, and office bearers and members of the affiliated associations, and our office bearers and committee members of Union Bank OBC Association, both All India as well as state of Tamilnadu, and all our friends from who are life members of our association, and members from the various organizations and social movement, including Dravidar Kazhagam. And in continuation of our welcome address by T.Ravikumar, I want to just emphasize that this Social Justice Academy has been started by our Union Bank OBC Employees Welfare Association, Tamilnadu, as an activity to educate our people, particularly the office bearers and the committee members of the various organizations, about the reservation policies and the history of the social justice, etc. And virtually we conducted 2 workshops, one in Mahabalipuram and another one in Vallam, Periyar Maniamma University campus, where in Mahabalipuram, our respected leader, Dr.K.Veeramani only inaugurated the program, and he gave a wonderful speech about the reservation policy. Thereafter, we had in Periyar Maniamma University also one reservation workshop. Thereafter, our New India Assurance, OBC Employees Welfare Association, they also had a 2 days, 3 days workshop also at Tanja Vallam. And now, because of this corona pandemic, we were not able to continuously do that job in person. So we thought we should have it through this kind of technology. And I think this will be a greater boon, because where the number of participants was restricted in our reservation workshop to the extent of 30 only. Now across India, people are listening and they were able to know the various intricacies of the reservation policy, the challenges, and how the matters has to be taken forward. Likewise, this kind of Zoom meeting enables our people to know much better. So in this way, I think we thought it will be better that we conduct this kind of programs in the coming days also. And this is being the first program. And as usual, as mentioned by our Ravikumar, our Union Bank OBC Association was started in 1994 at E Road, the birthplace of our social revolutionary Periyar, and our respected leader only inaugurated the conference in 1994. And he is our guiding force as far as social justice is concerned. He is the guiding force not only for us, for the entire country. And as I told you, the reservation workshop in Mahabalipuram was inaugurated by him. And the first Zoom meeting, we thought our respected Asiriya has to participate and guide us, so that the subject also will be dear to him, and people will be able to know a lot of information. And we requested our leader, and he was kind enough. And likewise, our Mr. P.Wilson, Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, within a short period of less than 1 year, he was able to know the techniques of the parliament system, and he was able to raise the matters also as relating to social justice. And he was the first person to raise the matter of medical admission in the Rajya Sabha. And through that only we came to know what was the real challenge. The real challenge was in Supreme Court of India, where in 2015 itself a Saloni case was there pending. To that extent, since 2015, the government or nobody came out with that information. Only through the letter written by our Member of Parliament, Mr. P.Wilson, the Minister informed the House that there is a case pending in the Supreme Court of India. That only gave some light upon the matter. And continuously after that, our respected leader also issued a statement. Thereafter, political parties joined the struggle, and the matter went to the court also, where our respected leader Wilson effectively argued the matter. He presented the matter in a very new angle, which is also, to be honest, it is also new to us. And when we were harping on 27%, he only opened the eyes that we should demand for 50%. So that to that extent, he has got a depth in knowledge of the subject. And in the discussions or in the court debates also, he was able to counter the arguments of the government effectively. And he made the other side keep mum or to keep silent. And that too opened the eyes of the honorable judges in Madras High Court. And that gave a very good judgment. But unfortunately, the matter is still pending, and we have to take forward that matter also. Similarly, in so many other areas, in National Law University, there is zero reservation for OBC. In Central University, Ambedkar, in the name of Ambedkar, in Lucknow, there is zero reservation. Likewise, in various faculties of the universities, the representation of the OBCs is just like 4% or less than 4%. And the concession for the application fee for getting admission into the universities, even for that, we have been demanding there should be a concession because our rural people, they are not able to give that much of application fee. That was not considered by the government. Whereas for the EWS, now they have come with the concession for EWS. No one asked for that, even though the government is coming forward to help them. Whereas for OBC, there is a total denial of justice. So all these are challenges, not only for the OBC, for even SC/ST. There is a challenge now in the Supreme Court of India. The cream layer concept has been taken by there in the court also. And a constitutional bench has been constituted for the purpose. And a 10% reservation challenge is still pending. And it has also been referred to the constitutional bench. And likewise, all the reservation policy matters are not settled so far, leaving the OBCs in the darker side of the country. And they were not able to avail the opportunities, even to the extent of 27%, which is the minimum, because the population of OBCs is more than 52%. As per Mandal Commission report, it is 52%, whereas in real terms, it should be nearly 60%. Because in Tamil Nadu, the population of OBC is 73%. Likewise, in various states. Now, the matter is still pending. The challenges are there. And at this juncture, this kind of programs will enlighten our people, OBC people, and other SC/ST people also, how to we have to, what are the challenges, how to overcome that, how we should take forward our movement. Then only we'll have justice for our people. Only on that count, our Empower Trust as well as the Social Justice Academy has taken the task of bringing these matters before the public and before our office bearers. And I think our members will be too happy to participate in this program. And I must once again, I welcome our respected Asir and P.Wilson. And today, the whole world celebrates the change of government in the United States of America. It gives us a hope that the majoritarianism or exclusionism will not have a smooth going for long in a democratic setup. So the states, United USA has given a hope for us. So like that, we should have the hope that we can meet these challenges on reservation policy and social justice. And Tamil Nadu, which is the capital of social justice, the social justice movement has got a history of nearly 100 years under the dynamic revolutionary leadership of Tandai Periyar and other leaders. So Tamil Nadu again has to lead this social justice movement, for which this kind of discussions will enable us to move forward. And with this, I once again, on behalf of the Trust and the Social Justice Academy, welcome our respected Asir and our respected Honorable Member of Parliament Wilson sir, and our office bearers of the Federation and Union Bank Employees Association. With this, I conclude my brief address. And now I request our Honorable Member of Parliament, Mr. P.Wilson, to take on the topic of challenges before the challenges on reservation policy and the way forward. And I request our Wilson sir to unmute, and you can talk. The light is not blooming. It is you have to switch on the light also. Sir, you can proceed, sir. Sir, are you able to hear? I think there is some problem. He will be, I think he's joining. I think some technical issue is there. And
he'll be joining in a moment, sir.
Yeah, okay. And tomorrow, I think our Wilson sir is having a meeting with the Parliamentary Committee on Personnel. And I have requested him to take up the issue of the division in income ceiling on creamy layer and other OBC matters related to DOPT in the meeting itself. And he has assured to take up the matter also. Yesterday night only, when I talked to him, he was hinting that. So night I have sent some materials also, and tomorrow I think the agenda they are going to fix up for the coming days, because this is the first meeting of the committee and they have to finalize the agenda. What will be the agenda for the entire year, like that. In that I told to give preference to this income ceiling. The present income ceiling for OBCs is 8 lakhs, which is already due. By 1st September, it has to be revised. Already NCBC has recommended for 15 lakhs in the year 2015 itself. But almost 5 years have gone. Now the government has started come forward to revise the income ceiling also. Even though our demand is for complete abolition of creamy layer concept, till that is done, at least the income ceiling where salary income and agriculture income should not be taken into account. At least to that extent, the government has to consider. That is what our petition has been demanding, and we have sent our letters of representations also to the government. And now I requested our Wilson sir also to take up that agenda before the committee, so that the committee can also recommend for that for speedy implementation. Because now this 8 lakhs, including the salary income, means no OBC is getting benefit. All the direct scale one officers, even in the banks, are deprived of this. Even the sub-staff and clerks who are crossing 8 lakhs, they are not eligible to have the 27% reservation. So to that extent, majority OBCs who are eligible to have the opportunity are deprived of this facility. So unless it is improved, there is no way the OBCs can do that. I think our Wilson sir can join that, sir. You can unmute and talk, sir. Sir, are you able to hear, sir? You can unmute and talk, sir. Unmute and talk. Okay, sir. You can go ahead, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, clear.
Yeah, the electricity suddenly went off.
Yeah. I thought so. Okay, sir. You can.
Yeah, just a minute, sir. 1 minute, sir. Please.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can go ahead, sir.
Now you can see me, no?
Yeah. We are able to hear and see.
Yeah. Respected leader, Ashriyar Ayya Avargal, President of Dravidar Kazhagam, who's a beacon for social justice movement all over India, Mr. G.Karunanidhy, All India OBC Federation General Secretary, Mr. T.Ravikumar, All India Union Bank OBC General Secretary, then Mrs. G.Malarkodi, who's a trustee of this empowerment movement, Mr. J. Parthasarathi, and all participants who have joined today in this Social Justice Academy to hear about the challenges to reservation policy and way forward. Good morning to you all. I'm really delighted to be today with you and share my views on the challenges to reservation policy and way forward. First of all, I would thank the organizers who have given me an opportunity to join with you and to bring to light what are all the difficulties, as Mr. Karunanidhy said, what are all the difficulties we face today in upholding the reservation, which is a constitutional guarantee. And it is not enough that leaders like our Ashriyar Ayya, our great leader, DMK President Mr. M.K. Stalin, and other leaders are fighting for the rights of the OBC is enough. We people should understand our right and in fact should put our foot down and say, yes, this is my constitutional right. I am entitled under the Constitution. Please give me. Unless all of you are aware about the rights and all of you fight for their respective rights, this idea or the social goals of the social justice will not surface at all. So you all would know the real constitutional goals. The 3 constitutional goals is socialism, secularism, and democracy. This cannot be realized unless all sections of the society participate in the state power equally, irrespective of the caste, community, race, religion, and sex, and without any discrimination. Inequality doesn't favor unity. There's no equality of opportunity unless economic justice is guaranteed to all. If this is not guaranteed, the preamble of the Constitution is only a myth. The concept of equality before law contemplates minimizing the inequalities in income and eliminating inequalities in status, facilities, and opportunities. This reservation has got a very big history. All should not think that it starts and ends with the Constitution. I'm going to take you all that prior to Constitution, how we had struggled to get this reservation. You all know that the country was ruled by kings, and the kings ruling this country was abolished when the Britishers captured India. The whole of administration was taken over by Britishers, and of course, in British period, one section of community alone, who were 3%, were dominating the entire administrative side. They were found in all jobs, in all government jobs. And in fact, this inequality made people in India to revolt. And therefore, there was a study carried out by the Britishers. The Britishers appointed a committee, and by that committee, they wanted to study how there is a distribution of jobs among various castes. In fact, a Revenue Department Standing Order 128 in the year 1851, it clearly showed how the system, how the entire jobs were taken over by one section or one community alone. This came to light after the study, the report was tabled before the British government. In fact, the head of department, collectors, district judges, all were adequately being represented only by this community alone. Therefore, the Britishers wanted to know what exactly was preventing the other communities from participating in this share in the education, share in the power. In 1883, the Education Committee report said that large section of the people remained uneducated, and they were deprived of being getting educated. Therefore, this report, followed by a report dated 9/3/1894, this report clearly exposed that one section of community was dominating not only in the employment but also in the education. Therefore, a movement started that there should be a proportionate share to all castes and communities, and therefore this movement, came up within the people in India, and in the year 1885, this movement emphasized that so far as the post of district collector, district judges, and all jobs should not only be given to Indians, but also should be distributed among all communities. In 1891, there was a conference in Ooty highlighting the social justice requirement and distribution of jobs proportionately to all communities. In fact, when Justice Party was formed to fight for the rights of the deprived people and for all classes, this Justice Party captured the power. And when the Justice Party came to power, it brought out first communal GO for reservation in GO 613 dated 16/9/1921. This GO emphasized a reservation for all communities. In fact, on 25/19/22, the admission in colleges for all communities was also emphasized by a government order. This was followed by another government order on 21st June 1923, where the children who are non-Brahmins were directed to be admitted in all primary schools. This is a breakthrough where they kept away the Brahmins in this particular GO. The another communal GO, 1021, dated 13/9/1928, was released, where they gave a ratio so far as the admission of the students. Now, this was going on for some time, and the India got independence, and after independence, the constitution came into force. You all know, when the constitution came into force, the reservation only in appointment was alone was found in Article 16(4). There were no provisions in the constitution for reservation in educations. So therefore, after constitution, there was a communal GO dated 19/5/1948. This communal GO speaks about reservation insofar as the admission in the colleges are concerned, colleges and schools are concerned. In fact, this GO was challenged before the Madras High Court. One lady who hails from a upper caste, that is, she's a Brahmin, she did not get admission in the medical college. Likewise, one more person who hailed from Brahmin community, he did not get admission in the engineering college. So both of them filed a writ petition before the Madras High Court. Her name is Champaga Dorerajan. In a famous judgment delivered by the Madras High Court in 1951, the Madras High Court said that the reservation cannot be given in this fashion after the constitution came into force. There was a lot of uproar about not denying reservation. In fact, the matter went up till Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court also confirmed the judgment of Madras High Court. And this, because of the movement that erupted in Tamilnadu by people, great stalwarts like Periyar, Periyar, then Dr. Periyar Anna, Dr. Kalanya, there was a pressure mounted on the government that this inequality will certainly have a bearing on the future of the students. Therefore, the constitution was amended for the first time in 1951. This is because of the movement in Tamil Nadu, which brought a pressure on the rulers, and that is how constitution was amended and Article 15(4) was inserted. And this was useful throughout India. It was a celebrated constitutional first amendment wherein this Article 15(4) was inserted. And you all know that after this amendment, various other amendments also came into force. So this is how the history, there is a struggle. I will fail in my duty if I don't mention about Tandai Periyar, who brought about the self-respectable Samadharma party of South India, who in fact brought various changes in the society. In fact, a lot of objectives were made and propagated, and this in fact, as when the constitutional makers debated in the Constituent Assembly, what all Thandai Periyar has enunciated in those days, in way back in 1933 and thereafter, these are all now found in the Constitution. I would, in fact, Thandai Periyar in February 1935, the 14-point program presented clearly says, one of the points says, the life insurance should be run by the government. Today, the government is giving up this life insurance. So you all should kindly read this. And in fact, whatever propagated by our great leaders and stalwarts is now found in the Constitution. So therefore, this Constitution takes in with itself the reservation. And this reservation, as I said, is a fundamental right. Now, let's see how it was taken forward. Now, after this constitutional amendment providing reservation in education in Article 15.4, the Mandal Commission, which was formed in the year 1975 and 79, after various agitations, of course, Tamilnadu is a front runner. As I started initially, the beacon of social justice, Asri Raya, is propagating time and again about our rights in the states, for particularly for this OBC. Now, this Mandal Commission, was appointed. So it was appointed in 1979. It took about 1 year for them. Nearly, I would say, 2 years. 1179 was their appointment, and 31/12/1980 is the report. They have traveled extensively throughout India. If I'm not wrong, nearly 435 districts they have traveled, and they gave a report. The report was submitted on 31/12/1980. After submission of this report, nearly for 10 years, the report was not acted upon. No government was interested in taking into consideration the reservation for the backward class, particularly in employment. This report clearly captured the inequalities in the society, how the backward class were deprived of their legitimate rights, which is enshrined in the Constitution. So therefore, this report, which did not transform into that of a reservation, for the first time, when the VP Singh government who came to power, and he became the prime minister of this country, due to the persuasion of our great leader, Dr. Karunanidhy, and who the DMK was also a part of the central government. He brought the then Prime Minister, Mr. VP Singh, he brought office memorandum on 13/8/1990, that is after 10 years. But he had the real guts, and he wanted to implement the recommendation of Mandal Commission. So this 13/8/1990 office memorandum provides for a reservation of 27% for OBCs. You all know that this was only for so far as the appointments are concerned. And that's how this was challenged in court of law, and a celebrated decision, Indira Savani's case, came, and Indira Savani's case, the Supreme Court, there was a division in the Supreme Court. 6 judges upheld the reservation for the OBC, other backward class, and it said, yes, the OBC deserves the reservation, and the OBCs are entitled for this reservation. and they upheld the office memorandum granting 27% reservation for this appointments. And thereafter, there were other amendments also. Article 16(4)(a) amendment was brought because the Indira Savani's case said this is not applicable for promotion. So they have to amend the constitution. Article 16(4)(a) was brought in the year 1995. And 16(4)(b), another hurdle is that you can't give it for the unfilled vacancies. So therefore, Article 16(4)(b) was brought, wherein unfilled vacancies also it was made applicable. This was made retrospective, effect was given from 9/6/2000. Then again, there is a challenge. No, M. Nagaraj case versus Union of India. It was challenged before Court of Law, and Court of Law upheld the power of the Parliament to give reservation. Then you all know that the reservation insofar as education was introduced only by amending Article 15(5). This Article 15(5) was amended on 20/1/2006 by the 93rd Constitutional Amendment. In fact, this constitutional amendment, when it was brought, the entire intention was that the backward class should also be given reservation, not only in appointments, in education, but also in other studies, also higher studies also. That's how this Article 15(5) was brought in. Now, this 93rd Amendment was challenged again in Ashoka Kumar Thakur's case, and of course, that amendment was upheld by the Honorable Supreme Court. Now, why I'm saying this is the struggle which we undertake every time, so far as the backward class is concerned, is evident that even though the constitutional makers thought fit that this reservation should be given to the backward class, however, somehow or other, they were prevented from implementing it. This discrimination in implementing reservation it can be clearly seen in the All India Quota. Mr. Karunanidhy was saying as to how I fought. In fact, I would only say that we all fought. I would appreciate Asriyar Dr. Ayya Avargal. In fact, we had a discussion, and Asriyar Ayya is also an advocate by profession, and he is very thorough in law. He has got a complete thing about the backward class reservation. If you ask him any judgment, he will tell you what are all the judgments and how the Supreme Court has dealt with the reservations so far as the backward class. And so therefore, we all had a discussion. And in fact, I convinced Asriyar Ayya Avargal that I convinced Asriyar Ayya that 50% reservation is maintainable in so far as seeking reservation in All India Quota. Now let's come to this All India Quota. How injustice, grave injustice has been done in this All India Quota. We are all Vasco da Gamas discovering, this reservation. It is a reservation that we are entitled. The reservation that is already available, but we have been denied. We have been discriminated. We have not been given. This All India Quota concept, originally it came in 1984 when the Supreme Court was hearing a case filed by Dr. Pradeep Jain in 1984. Those days, you all know that certain states alone had medical colleges. Take the case of Tamilnadu. In Tamil Nadu, we have a lot of medical colleges. established. And the kind of quality of education in Tamil Nadu is, good compared to the other states. Now, this problem which the Supreme Court saw it is that in some states, there were no medical colleges at all. For example, Bihar. Beginning, there were no colleges, medical colleges. So the students who studied in that state, they had no opportunity of going to other states also. The reason is that if they go to the other states, there is 100% domicile or institutional reservation. Like the medical colleges in that state, only the students who reside in that state alone got admission. This was the state of affairs which prevailed in 1984 insofar as this medical education is concerned. So what Supreme Court said is, a student who is hailing from one particular state and there is no medical college in that state, how can he acquire this or how can he study in this medical college? So therefore, the Supreme Court said, let state as well as the central contribute some ratio towards All India Quota, so that this All India Quota pool will be given to students in all over India. This was the original concept of Supreme Court in the year 1984. So it is about 36 years back. So as per the scheme propagated by the Honorable Supreme Court of India in Dr. Pradeep Jain's case, 15% of MBBS seat has to be contributed by the state government as well as 15% by the central government. State government has to give it from their medical colleges and 15% by the central government from their medical colleges. This 15% has to be given in MBBS course. Likewise, 50% of seats have to be given in post-graduation course. 50% the state government has to give and 50% the central government has to give. This was the original scheme which the All India Quota was envisaged, the Supreme Court envisaged. And this All India Quota, the students from all the states, they can compete in this quota. There was a common entrance examination conducted by Director General of Health Service or central government originally. So the students, who, according to their merit, they were given admission in these colleges. Now this judgment, it underwent a slight modification in the year 1986. Dear friends, you should also hear about this modification. In the year 1986, in the case of Dinesh Kumar, the Supreme Court said that this arrangement is only temporary. The Supreme Court said this All India Quota is only temporary. This temporary arrangement can be taken forward till the central government establishes Regional Institute of Medical Sciences. So this was the clear categorical finding of the Supreme Court, saying that, look, I'm only giving this as a temporary. Let central government establish Regional Institute of Medical Science. In that, let them give seats in this manner, in this fashion, so that the students from all over India would be benefited. However, from 1986, 34 years have gone. Till today, the central government has not established this Regional Institute of Medical Sciences. So 34 years, the seats of the states, of the respective states, are being taken away from the hands of the state government, and the states are not in a position to satisfy their own students. That is the state of affairs which is prevailing till today. Now let's come back to the reservation issue. What happened? This All India Quota, though originally Supreme Court said that there will be no reservation insofar as All India Quota is concerned. However, in Abhaynath case, for the first time in 2007, the Supreme Court made it very clear that let's have reservation in this All India Quota. The application was moved by the central government. In fact, in 2006, as I said, there was a constitutional amendment, and even the Dravidar Munnetra Kazhagam was a part of the central government. And when this was moved, the Supreme Court said, yes, after so much of the reservation have come, constitutional reservation 93rd amendment has come, certainly the reservation has to be given. That is how the Supreme Court said, insofar as All India Quota is concerned, the reservation can be given. But when the application was moved, the application was referring to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. But however, after the 93rd amendment, as I told you, that there was an amendment, and there was also an act legislated by Parliament. The act is called as Central Educational Institution Admissions and Reservation Act 2006. This was also brought by the Parliament, wherein a reservation was given in the college, in the educational institutions. The institutions run by the central government, affiliated, all that will give reservation. The ratio of reservation was fixed at 27% for the other backward class, 15% for the scheduled caste, 7.5% for the scheduled tribe. This was the act that was brought in. Of course, as I told you, this act, along with this Article 15.5, was challenged, and 16.4 was also challenged before the Supreme Court in Ashoka Kumar Thakur's case. And of course, the reservation was stayed by the court, and in 2008, the Supreme Court, the constitutional bench of the Supreme Court, upheld the Parliamentary Act and also the constitutional amendment. That's how the reservation for the other backward class in educational institutions came into force since 2008. Now, what happened insofar as this All India Quota is concerned? So, large chunk of seats are being given from every state towards this All India Quota. This large chunk of seats, when it is given to All India Quota, the reservation, so far as in this All India Quota, the central government educational institution alone was giving reservation for OBCs. The seats that has been given by the central educational institutions, namely 15% in MBBS and 50% in postgraduate, they permitted this reservation to an extent of 27%. So, such of those central educational institutions who are contributing towards All India Quota, they alone were entitled or permitted to give 27% of reservation. And so far as the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, that is 15% and 7.5%, the central government was giving, and as per the act also, they have to mandatorily give. So they were giving that. But so far as the states surrendered seats, as I told you earlier, the state is parallelly giving 15%. Each of the state is giving 15% of its seat to the All India Quota in UGC and 50% of seats in PG. Now, this seats, so far as the state contribute seats are concerned, this is a seats which is being contributed by the state. There was no reservation at all for OBC. I don't know why the central government was adopting a discriminatory attitude. When it comes to the central educational institution, it was giving reservation to the central educational institution seats for OBC. But when it came to the state surrendering its seats to the, it is not a surrendering, it is contribution. When it's contributing its seats, however, the central government denied reservation. The reservation was not given at all. So, in fact, when you take Tamil Nadu, we have a 1993 Act. You know, this reservation, the DMK party has fought for this reservation for the other backward classes, and in Tamil Nadu, we call it as a backward class, and in which there is a subclass called most backward classes. So this reservation, which was originally at 31% and subsequently increased to 50%, and in the year 1993, an act was brought, Tamil Nadu, in which Act 45 of 1994, which gave 69% reservation in totality to all the caste, namely the backward class is 50%. So 50% of seats in all educational institutions and even in the service also, it is reserved for the backward class. The backward class takes in the most backward class and the other. So we call it as a backward class, and we call it as a OBC. And so far as the scheduled caste is concerned, 18% of reservation is given, and so far as scheduled tribe is concerned, 1% is given. Why this 69%? Mr. Karunanidhy, he was telling that there is a population of 73% in Tamil Nadu, so far as the backward class are concerned. So therefore, on the basis of the population, this ratio was fixed. So in Tamil Nadu, we have a population more than 70%. And in fact, the government gave at 50%. So this population ratio made the reservation at 50%, and for scheduled caste at 18%, and scheduled tribe at 1%. Now, this reservation, I would say, it varies from state to state. I will give you one example as to how this reservation, it varies in each state. The Arunachal Pradesh, we have a reservation of 45%. So far the scheduled tribe is concerned, the reservation is higher there. And in so far as the other states are concerned, like Andhra Pradesh, the scheduled caste reservation is 16%, whereas the backward class is 27%, and scheduled tribe is 45%. And Assam, if you take Assam, we have a percentage of 7%, scheduled tribe is 12%, and backward class is 27%. And Goa, if you take, the backward class is 18%, scheduled tribe is 12%, and scheduled caste is 2%. So this varies from state to state. If you take in the case of Jharkhand, there the scheduled tribe is 11%, and the scheduled caste is 8%. You take the case of the Manipur, there the scheduled tribe is 34%, backward class is 13%, and the scheduled tribe is 3%. Take the case of Nagaland, you have a 45% for scheduled tribe, and 0% for SC and 0% for OBCs. Take the case of Tripura, you have 31% for scheduled tribe, scheduled caste is 17%, and other backward classes 27%. Dadra, Nagar, and Haveli is 43% for scheduled tribe, 2% for scheduled caste, and 5% for other backward classes. So in Pondicherry, if you take Pondicherry, there is no reservation for scheduled tribe. Scheduled caste, you have 16%, and other backward classes is 27%. Why I'm saying that in 9 union territories and 28 states, the reservations differs. So each state has got its own policy. The reservation differs from each state. Therefore, when it comes to All India Quota, and when state is contributing from its pocket, how these medical institutions are being run by the state, out of its exchequer, it establishes the medical institutions. If you take Tamil Nadu government establishes these medical colleges. They spend a lot on these medical colleges, and everyone knows Article 47, public health, that is a prime duty of a state to take care of its citizens. Only when doctors who are hailing from that state and who are being given admissions in that institutions, and after they complete their courses, studies, they come back to their own place they stay there in that place and they give their services. This is a concept why the public health is predominant and which is envisaged in Article 47 is one of the duties and responsibilities of the state. So therefore, the state has got every responsibility not only to increase the public health, but to have as many as doctors in their state. So that is why if you see this All India Quota, when they gave their contribution of seats to All India Quota, and when the central government is giving reservations in their educational institution, contrary, they were denying this reservation so far as the states are concerned. Interestingly, in 2010, the Medical Council of India brought one regulation. That the regulation is called as Graduate Medical Education Regulation. It is actually an amendment. It was brought in 2010. They brought an amendment not only in the Graduate Medical Education Regulation 1987, they also brought an amendment in Postgraduate Medical Education Regulation. These two amendments said, henceforth, whatever seats that are available in a state, the reservation policies in that state will apply to those seats. So this regulation came in 2010. This was followed by the Dental Council of India in giving reservations in dental seats also. So therefore, these regulations permitted reservations, state-wise reservations, state-specific reservations in the medical seats, medical as well as dental seats. Now, this came in 2010. The whole problem was when this regulation was introduced, it was introduced along with NEET. This is a national entrance eligibility test where you all know that there's an eligibility test for getting admission in medical courses. So this came along with that NEET. This all was challenged by various state governments. Ultimately, it landed in Supreme Court in 2013. Justice Altamas Kabir, he struck down this regulation because what was projected before the Supreme Court and what was argued is predominantly about the NEET. No one realized that the reservation was also in that regulation, but everyone was concentrating on NEET. So because each state has got their own reservation, they are going to give reservation. There's no difficulty about that. So this NEET regulations were struck down in 2013. Then the present government, the BJP-headed government, came in 2014. As soon as they came, this there was a review petition which was filed earlier that was taken up, and review petitions were heard. In 2016, the judgment which struck down the regulation was recalled. So in 2016, all the regulation came back with the same force and same vigor. So those regulations since 2016 was there. 2016, those regulations came back, and from 2016 onwards, the regulations were enforced. So from 2016, nothing prevented the central government from giving reservation so far as the state contributed seats are concerned for the OBCs. They should have given reservations for OBCs. They have denied reservations in the state contributed seats for OBCs. As I said earlier, so far as SC and ST, they were giving the reservation which they were following in central educational institution. That itself is illegal. The central educational institution means it is only an institution run by the central government or affiliated to central government. There alone that act will apply. But however, central government with a lot of audacity, it was giving that reservation of 15% and 7.5% so far as the state contributed seats are concerned. Now, visualize a situation where I told you how the reservation varies from state to state. I was telling you there was zero reservation for OBC in some states, and there were higher reservation for ST in some states, and lesser reservation for SC and higher reservation for SC in some other states. Now, if you adopt this 7.5% for scheduled tribe and 15% for scheduled caste, uniformly in the state contributed seats, that itself is illegal, because the reservation varies from state to state. After all India quota, you are taking away the seats from the state government. So when you are taking away seats from the state government to benefit the students in that state, whatever community, whatever caste the community or the caste is there more in numbers in that state, they only will be benefited if you give that reservation that is prevailing in that state. So this illegal, irrational decision to give their own reservation of 15% and 7.5% in the state contributed seats is also without any substance, and in fact it's going against the constitutional reservation. Now what happened is, once we found that from 2016 that reservation is not given to the All India quota is concerned, then I took up this matter, in fact, with my leader, and in fact, we had a discussion. Our Asri Raya was there. We all discussed. Many political leaders also came forward, other CPI, CPIM, and MDMK leader. So all of them decided that this has to be fought out. Now, what is the loss that is caused to each state? I'm not talking about Tamil Nadu alone. Each state has got its own reservation. The reservation are different. Only when you give reservation of that state, the students studying in that state will be benefited out of that reservation, because you are giving this quota to someone. It is going not to these categories. It is going to open quota. When central government is going to apply 15% and 7.5%, and if there are no takers, who will be benefited? You all know it will be benefited by the other the open quota. I think I have not made myself clear. If this 15% and 7.5% is going to be uniformly given, take the case of Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu, we have 18%. So you are reducing 3%. So 3% of students is without this reservation. And take scheduled tribe. In Tamil Nadu, we don't have that much population. What is the use of giving 7.5% in the state contributed seats? There will be no takers at all. So ultimately, it goes to the open quota, and who will be benefited? One homogeneous class of students alone will be benefited, and that is the real reason why this reservation was not applied in All India quota for state contributed seats. So we all decided then. In fact, I had been taking up this matter in the parliament. Not only me, my colleagues, our floor leader, Mr. T.R. Balu, then Kanimuri, Madam Kanimuri, then Mr. Raja, A. Raja, then Tamilchi Tangapandian, then Trichy Siva, and R.S. Bharati, then T.K. Silongan, all of us, we were talking about this not granting reservation in All India quota by the central government, and we raised then and there in the parliament, and I wrote a letter to the honorable minister that what you are doing is illegal. What you are doing is against constitution. Look, in our state, when you yourself in 2010 say that reservation is permissible, state specific reservation is permissible, please implement that 69% of reservation in our state, because it's an act. The act assented by the president, and the act has come into force since 1993. So why are you not applying this reservation? I wrote a letter, and he gave one reply to me. That reply only today nailed the central government. That reply dated 18th of December 2019. In that he said, look, we are ready to give reservation, but the difficulty is that there is no law in each of the state about the reservation, number one. Number two, he said there is one case called Saloni Kumari pending in Supreme Court. And number three, the state should come forward and hand over the seats, earmarking that this is for reserved candidates. This is the only three defense which he wrote, and this is the reason why the reservation is not given. So therefore, we took up this matter before the Supreme Court. I argued the matter. DMK was first to file this case on 28th of May 2020 before the Supreme Court. Then after we filed, in fact, it's a joint decision of all the alliance party. In fact, the decision of our Asiriyar Ayya also, and all the parties filed the writ petitions in Supreme Court. The matter came up before the Honorable before Supreme Court on 11th of June 2020. Honorable Justice Nageshwar Rao said that why don't you take up this matter before the Madras High Court, because these are all concerning your states. So we accepted it. Within few hours on the 11th of June 2020, I filed a writ petition before the Madras High Court, and the Madras High Court heard all the matters. Even there also what they did is, central government, at one point of time, they said, look, there is a Saloni Kumari case pending before the Supreme Court, so you don't hear the matter. This was a stand taken by the central government before the Madras High Court. Here also they want to deny reservation. Already I said from 2016, the regulation came into force. The regulation itself says state-specific reservation is permitted, but they did not allow this reservation. They did not want to give this reservation. They want to snatch all the seats and give it to the open quota so that someone else will be benefited. And here also in Madras High Court also they said, no, there's a case in Supreme Court. Only when Supreme Court decides the case, then only we'll give reservation. Very interestingly, this is a argument which they took. Then again, I came before the Supreme Court and I said, look, Madras High Court says that there is a case, Saloni Kumari case pending in Supreme Court. Only when that case is decided, our case will be taken. On 13th of July 2020, Justice Nageshwar Rao bench said, there is no difficulty, there is no relationship between Saloni Kumari's case and your case. That case is different. Your case, you are asking a 50% reservation. There they are asking 27% reservation. So there is a lot of differences. That case, you go ahead with the case. So that's how we came back to the Madras High Court, by a well-considered historical decision on 27th of July 2020. The Madras High Court said, yes, reservation is possible insofar as the state surrendered seats. Reservation has to be given. The directions of the Madras High Court are: 1, reservation is possible. 2, reservation for OBC has to be given. Number 3, they said even state-specific reservation of 69% has to be taken into consideration. Number 4, they said let us form a committee comprising of the Director General of Health Service and the Health Secretary, Tamilnadu, the Medical Council of India Secretary and Dental Council of Secretary. All 4 of them should, within 3 months, finish off their job. This judgment was on 27th of July 2020. He should have finished it by 26th of October 2020. Till today, they have not done anything except for a meeting. What happened is, meanwhile, the state government, they should have not filed an appeal, but they took on appeal, challenging the order of Madras High Court. And their stand was, Madras High Court said, from next year onwards, implement this reservation. So on a short premise, they went to Supreme Court. And there they asked for implementation of reservation this year itself. However, the central government came before the Supreme Court and said, look, as per the Madras High Court order, we are accepting it. We have formed a committee and we are deliberating on this. And the state government never asked for reservation for this year. So when the state government has not asked for a reservation for this year, how can they come before this court and ask for a reservation for this year? That was a stand taken by the central government. And of course, the Supreme Court has to go along with whatever the the central government says. And of course, because the central government also said that we can't implement this year. That was a stand taken by them, and it recorded. The Supreme Court recorded their stand. Now, even in this constitution of committee, if you see, the committee has, even in the constitution of committee, if you see, the Director General of Health Service is not in that committee. Number 2, our Health Secretary is not in the committee. The committee is constituted without Health Secretary and without Director General of Health Service. Some persons are there who are nominees of these 2 officials, and that is why indecisiveness prevails even till today. This is how they are, successfully stalling the implementation of reservation. In fact, if you see in Tamil Nadu, out of 3,350 MBBS seats, 502 seats are given to the All India Quota. 251 backward class students, OBC students are denied of this reservation. This I'm talking about Tamil Nadu. Likewise, for the scheduled caste students, they should get 90 seats, but they are given only 75 seats, and 15 seats they are denied with 15 seats. So far as the postgraduate is concerned, in Tamil Nadu, we have 1,761 seats. We are giving 880 seats for All India Quota. If OBC reservation is given, 440 doctors post-graduation, OBCs will be getting their admission, but they are denied. 440 seats are denied. Likewise, for scheduled caste, instead of applying 18%, they are applying 15%, which means instead of 159 seats, they are giving only 132 seats, and 27 seats are denied. I am saying this only for Tamil Nadu and only for 1 year. And Mr. Karunanidhy time and again is bringing out the data, which is a correct data. And according to him, more than 10,000 students are deprived of OBC students are deprived in each category. And this is how the denial continues. And therefore, time has come where we have to, and as I said, this constitution itself is illegal, and they have gone beyond the cutoff date. By 27th of October 2020, they should have given this decision to implement the reservation, because High Court has laid down a complete foundation. High Court has said, yes, you give reservation. Number 2, give state reservation, 69%. Number 3, you form a committee and decide the modalities. That is all. They can't take any other decision than to give 69%. In fact, Supreme Court, when it recently dismissed the application of state government, I would say that Supreme Court had too accepted that Madras High Court has rightly said that the state reservation has to be applied, namely 69% has to be applied. Therefore, the central government is completely cornered. They can only delay it. Their intention is to delay it. By delaying, they're thinking they're denying it. Therefore, DMK party has now issued a contempt notice. We have issued a contempt notice saying that you have violated the court's order. And of course, whenever our leader says, we are going to go ahead and file a contempt petition. That's how today the OBCs are discriminated. I am only giving a tip of iceberg. Where this denial is being done. So OBCs. There are other areas where this discrimination and denial is being continued. And thank you all for listening, hearing me. Thank you very much. Very kind. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes,
for
sir.
a detailed lecture on the history of the reservation policy as well as the present scenario where the matter has been taken to the court and where it stands today. And now we are really thankful to you once again. And now we will request our respected leader, Asiriya, to speak on the subject of challenges to reservation policy and the way forward. That is very important for us because we have to carry on the struggle till we get justice. Now I request our respected leader, Asiriya, to speak on the topics. Thank you.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். Good morning to everybody. This August House, where our Honorable Member of the Parliament and the leading legal luminary, Mr. Wilson, has been kind enough to participate here, and I give a very narrative about the history of reservation in Tamil Nadu, not only in Tamil Nadu, how the struggle is going on in India to the courts in the executive and judiciary side. We are very thankful and we appreciate and applaud for his wonderful exposition of this problem, Mr. Wilson. And Mr. Karunanidhy, who was the chief architect of this kind of wonderful efforts, because always we must not rest our oars. We will have to continue the journey, continue the fight. For this, he is one of our champions. I wish him, I thank him profusely. And also the president of this, who welcome, Mr. Ravikumar, the General Secretary of the All India Union Bank OBC Employees Welfare Association, and Madam Mrs. Malarkodi, and Mr. Parsardi, who is the August editor of this journal of OBC, and other friends, comrades, brothers and sisters. Vanakkam to everybody. The very topic is a wonderful, very time-bound topic. There are challenges to reservation. There were challenges to reservation, and those challenges were defeated by our leaders, great leaders like Tandai Periyar, Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, Periyar Anna, Dr. Kalanyar. Above all, with our great salutation, the social justice savior, our Honorable V.P. Singh, the former Prime Minister, who lost his Prime Minister, who sacrificed his Prime Ministership for this great cause of social justice. History always salutes him for his wonderful contribution and also his sacrifice. And he has brought life to Mandal, and thereby life to reservation and life to social justice. We salute him. Today, what are the challenges? Today, there were challenges, and those challenges were accepted and found a solution through the continuous agitation through the courts as well as the public. So we are able to achieve many things. The problem is the reservation. They have got the vested interest. The upper caste people, they view reservation as if it is a very, very topic which is to be ostracized. It is not to be touched upon. Very indecent. Because reservation, what is that? Why you are adopting on the caste basis even now? Are we not progressive? Do you want to take us back to the country to so many centuries back? All these things. But let me put one simple question to those broad-minded people who think they are too forward. They think they are too progressive and all these things. Let them answer one question. Who started this reservation? We have not started this reservation. It was Manu. It was the Brahminism. It is Manuwadis who started the reservation. Otherwise, there was no reservation at all. As very rightly pointed out by our learned member of the parliament and lawyer, Mr. Wilson, there was a social and educational monopoly. They have monopolized it, not for few years, but for centuries together. That is a great social injustice. Because of the social injustice, the demand for social justice have come. And our leaders, Dravidar leaders who showed the way to whole of India, to the whole country, that when the prevailing social injustice is to be cured, social justice is the only panacea, only cure that could be done. That is why they were able to fight and got our rights. What we want and what we insist is not charity, as very rightly pointed out my predecessor. We want parity. It is wonder of wonders. We are asking the Constitution to be implemented. Those who have sown the Constitution before they were taken up to the power, when they had been sworn as ministers and prime ministers and presidents, they took an oath on the constitution, but they are not implementing what the constitution says. Their approach is not directly against the constitution, but indirectly they want to act against constitution. Most of their attempts are unconstitutional and anti-constitutional. That is the first challenge for a reservation principle. Reservation, as I said earlier, is not a charity. It is our birthright. They openly and daringly say it cannot be your fundamental right. You cannot claim it, even though it has come by the founding fathers under the chapter of fundamental rights. But the question is, to put it very short, in a capsule form, we will have to reduce what are the problems that we will have to face through these challenges. In one part, he has very clearly explained very elaborately about how in medical admission, the challenge was there. The social injustice is being perpetuated forever and ever, in spite of repeated attempts, in spite of repeated judicial attempts, and filing of the cases after cases, and arguing and running out through here and there, the High Court, Supreme Court, once again back to Supreme Court, all these things. We are continuing our journey. It is like a hurdle race that we will have to follow it. What is our program for the backward brothers and sisters? We are not discriminating anything. We are not asking anything out of proportion. We are insisting our rights assured in the Constitution of India by the founding fathers of the Constitution. That is more important. Let us be reminded what all the things that happen, even for implementation, even for publication and implementation of Mandal Commission. It required more than a decade of continuous fight, not only confined to Tamil Nadu. When Mandal came here, and we gave, it is our pleasant memory, at Periyar Tidal, BP Mandal, and other distinguished members of the Mandal Commission, they were saying, look here, you Periyarists, what happened to the earlier Kaka Kalelkar Commission, the first backward classes commission, should not be the fate of our commission, even after we have given our recommendation. Because we are hoping that you will take up the cudgel. You will be the guardian, because this land was responsible for creating the first amendment, because the land of Periyar, the land of social justice. And we all pin our hope against you, with you. You will take care. You will see to that our commission is being implemented. And we acted upon it by convening 46 conferences, by associating all our North Indian committed social justice leaders, 46 conferences throughout India, Southern India, Western India, Eastern India, all these things, and 16 agitations. After only the Mandal Commission could, after the illustrious Prime Minister of India, the great humanist, our VP Singh, has come to power, and he was there to implement a part of the recommendation, first to open an account, for which he paid a very, but he was proud enough to say, I will be happy to lose my prime ministership for this great job. If you want anything to get a good commodity, we must pay a good price for that, proper price for that. I'm happy about it. I am prepared to sacrifice any number of times my prime ministership for this great cause, the social justice. He was so kind enough. As a great, historically, he played a mighty role. But afterwards, what is his till date, what we have achieved? Most of us, even our backward community brothers and sisters, leave alone other people, leave alone forward community people, leave alone our lay opponents. How far we are aware of what are the real recommendations of the Mandal Commission? We ourselves, because somebody fights, somebody talks, all these things, how it is relevant, sir, today? This kind of talk is nothing but great bunk up. You see here, let us refresh and re-educate. It is time for us to re-educate. Because what was the monopoly? One, Madam Saraswati, who has done a wonderful research and brought out the minorities in Tamilnadu state, has clinchingly pointed out in one sentence what is a necessity for this reservation. The various periods during the second decade of the century, the Brahmin group occupied nearly 74% in public works department and 50% in revenue and 66% in as very rightly pointed out by our Honorable Wilson, we are more than 75% the population of the country, but we are denying this opportunity. And the Mandal Commission, the second backward classes commission, has given a recommendation. How far we have gone through that? This is more important. You see here, let me quote from this is our Mandal Commission. And Mandal Commission, we are to hear, to see here. See, the above, the states which have already introduced, here one thing. In view of the legal constraint, the Commission is obliged to recommend a reservation of 27 only. Even though the original recommendation of the Mandal Commission was 52%, he has given 27% of reservation in public employment and admission, etc. What for? To accommodate our already depressed and the downtrodden brothers and sisters with scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Because of certain judgment, whether that judgment has got its own principle or obiter dicta, that is a different matter that will take a long time to debate and all these things. Let us accept it. But even only 27%, and he has very rightly. And other thing also, he was careful enough said, states which have already introduced reservation for OBCs exceeding 27%, like Tamil Nadu, will remain unaffected by the recommendation. Because in those times, when this Mandal Commission implementation, when we were discussing, the upper caste people who have either to socialize, monopolize the whole thing, they took a very careful unaffected by this recommendation. That is the first safeguard. Even by the Mandal Commission, they were very careful enough. And further, With the above general recommendation regarding the quantum of reservation, the Commission proposes the following overall scheme of reservation. Let us refresh ourselves because it is long time back. That is more important. Candidates belonging to the OBC recruited on the basis of merit in an open competition should not be adjusted. Very important. The candidates belonging to the OBC recruited on the basis of merit in an open competition should not be adjusted against the reservation quota of 27%. Whether this is being practiced in principle, in practicality by the central government, this is a challenge. My dear brothers and sisters, kindly probe over it. Kindly think about this. How injustice in a naked form is going on without a tremor of hesitation. They are doing it openly. Atrocious behavior. The above reservation, next one, Mandal. I'm quoting from the Mandal. The above reservation should be made applicable to promotion quota at all levels, should also be applicable. Are they going to observe? Have we achieved all these things? Third, reserved quota remaining unfilled should be carried forward for a period of 3 years and de-reserved thereafter. What is going on? And our Honorable Wilson has pointed out, when they allot a certain percentage more than the population. What is the idea behind that? The seats remain unfulfilled. They want to take it back to the open competition. Thereby, the upper caste, they want to grab the whole thing. Just like land grabbing, they want to grab from other people. The starving people are starving. Overfed people are overfed. This is the greatest social injustice. That is why the reservation is not only a must, even from the humanizing point of view. We will have to insist upon it. The next one, relaxation in the upper caste age limit for the direct recruitment should be extended to the candidates of the OBC in the same manner as done in the case of SC and STs. 5, a roster system for each category of posts should be adopted by the concerned authorities in the same manner as presently done in respect of this SC and ST. Next one, the above scheme of reservation in its toto should also be made applicable to all recruitment to the public sector undertakings, both under central and state governments, as also in the nationalized banks. This was up to a point. Later on, they want to defeat the purpose. How to defeat it? Denationalize, bring it back to privatize. Thereby, not only they are making it a corporate Raj, but also they want to take it back, the reservation. This is the secret of this. This is the great social injustice. Now, they want to they don't close the door for social justice. And next, my dear friends, please hear it. All private sector undertakings, which is very important, all private sector undertakings which have received financial assistance from the government in one form or another should also be obliged to recruit personnel on the aforesaid basis. So, what does it mean? Reservation should be scrupulously observed and implemented in the private sector. Have they done it? How many years have passed? Nearly more than half a century. How gross, atrocious are these things. We, the backward people, even though the population-wise we have many, but how far, where is the awareness? On this, we congratulate the OBC Association of the Union Bank of India, as well as the entire efforts of the people like Mr. Karunanidhy, Parsardi, Malarkodi, Ravikumar, etc., etc. We thank, as an ardent Periyarist, as a one fighter, tirelessly fighter, we want to compliment them because their continuous fight in this hurdle race is very, very important. Because people have forgotten about this. And it is time once again to reread the Mandal Commission recommendation. All universities, next one, all universities and affiliated colleges should also be covered by the above scheme of reservation. Are they doing it? Are they implementing it? Have they implemented this one? How far we have gone? It is on the reverse. Now they have put the reverse gear. This is a sorry state of affairs. We will have to understand, we will have to realize when you want to treat a disease, proper diagnosis is half of the remedy. That is more important. How to get the diagnosis? This is the diagnosis. We are diagnosing the disease. We will have to know. See, our enemies are not state enemies. The enemies of social justice, who want to grab, who want to steal, who want to encroach, they are doing it in a very, very methodical way by using the political majority. Some other, the backwards, still they are backwards. They were not aware of these things. They collude with the upper caste people. They were the instruments we are used by them. They never straight away come back. You see, for instance, they won when they got the majority, when the road roller majority. Even before that, they adopted one thing, that is the 10% reservation. It is just like when you say a fence is there to just mark the area of the land, the ownership. During nights or during the day, they will have to openly cross that, encroach upon that, the other area, like that 10%. The 10%, it is unconstitutional. Where is the provision? They want to change the constitution. How, whether they are competent enough? Is it not the basic structure of the constitution? How they are entitled to change the basic law? They have no right at all to touch upon because they never observe constitution. They observe more in breach than in practice. Within 5 days, within 1 week, there was few hours discussion in the Lok Sabha, next few hours in the Rajya Sabha. Even some of the All India parties who are in the opposition, they fell a prey to it without understanding the scheme, the maneuver behind it. They voted it. It was only the DMK under the leadership of then Kanimodi in the Rajya Sabha. They were very clear because they were imbibed in the Periyar's philosophy. The economic criteria should not be there. And they were, no. All these things. Upper caste people who are very low, and we are supporting it. The Congress supported it. Marxists supported it. Fortunately, the CPI never supported it. So using this one, what happens, they immediately allotted funds for that. This is 10%. When the people like so many progressives have challenged it in the Supreme Court of India, the Supreme Court never gave it a stay. They are going on grabbing, encroaching the 10%. Whereas even after the Supreme Court judgment, even after the High Court judgment, even after the very clear provision, as very rightly and elaborately explained, very vividly explained by our Honorable Wilson, they are not ready to give reservation, even from our own charity. What we have given our seats to them, we now go with a begging bowl. This is the story. Are we not ashamed of it? Are we aware of it? This is the question. We are very sorry to them. We will have to read the tears. For this, our leaders have fought. And they got us this kind of rights. What will be the judgment of the history in future? Are we not to preserve the rights? Are we not fight for that? So this one, so many recommendations, and these were not at all implemented on part of it. Other thing is judiciary. Where is the social justice in judiciary? Supreme Court, 31 to 34. All the seats were not filled up. But how many backward class judges are there? No, there was only one lady. She has retired. And our Honorable Wilson has brought that matter in a very polite way, very sophisticated way, as usual, a politician, and he has got his own limitations and all these things. Whereas we people will have to point it out, because it is just like a scanning. We will have to scan certain things at times. Otherwise, we cannot be healthy. We cannot save the life of the patient. This diagnosis is very important. We will have to scan our institutions. What is the composition today? Whenever we go to them, only upper caste, they give whatever it is, quite again without observing the norms at all. Where is the basis for constitutional basis, constitutional sanction for the NEET examination? Only the universities alone are given the power under the Constitution to conduct the examination. How is it that they have Constitution, they have taken it, they have grabbed it? Nobody asks. It is like broad daylight robbery. So we will have to be very careful. We will have to fight for our rights. We are not asking more than anything. We are not asking anything out of the way. Within the constitutional bounds, we are asking. Article 46 very clearly says we should not be exploited. The exploited classes must seek social justice. This is very important. That is why. And for one instant, when they want to decide about the Mandal Commission after this implementation, whether that memorandum passed by our VP Singh government was right. Indira Sahani case, 9 judges bench gave the judgment. Okay, some differed on certain points, but it was a majority judgment and all these things, right? But one question, what is the necessity to put creamy layer in that? They very clearly says on decision about the Narasimha Rao government, which passed a 10% reservation for the economically poor people. It is unconstitutional. They have done. That is why they touched the constitution, subsequently 103rd amendment. There, they very clearly say, no, it cannot be supported as per the constitution. What they cannot support through the open door, they want to bring it through the back door. That is the creamy layer. Where is the necessity for the creamy layer? If the creamy layer principle is adopted, there are 3 tiers. One is forward community, another is middle, the backward classes. Under that one, the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, 3 tiers. What is the application? This creamy layer, only for backward classes. They said, no, the creamy layer should be removed by all these things. What is it? Who has complied them? You have not at all implemented the recommendation of the Mandal Commission. Only after recommendation of the implementation, only after the practice, only when it was an vogue for a certain decade or 2 decades, if anybody complains that only no, even our backward classes, the creamy layer is grabbing all our things so that the lowest of the low, we cannot enjoy that. If there is a specific complaint, then you will be justified to see that the creamy layer, that was not done at all. You yourself introduced the unwanted, unwarranted creamy layer concept in that. So that must be done. Fortunately, the land of Periyar, the Tamilnadu, which never observed that one. And Kalaignar, our salutation to our Kalaignar. He was ready. Because that is why they view the contempt, the reservation, social justice. They don't want to turn their face towards Tamil Nadu. Because Tamil Nadu is the lighthouse for the entire social justice lighthouse for the entire India, entire world. Because we have suffered a lot. We were aggrieved and affected by the Manus, laws of Manus. We have been for centuries together dehumanized. We want to rehumanize the whole thing. For that, the social justice is one of the weapons, one of the crutches. That is why we want to follow it. So, my dear brothers and sisters, this is high time that we will have to wake up. And those you try to wake up the other brothers who are sleeping well. They don't care for their future generations. We fight and go on fighting. We are not Lilliputians. This is not a Rip Van Winkle case. And we will fight to the core. That is more important. And you know that one. Another thing is private sector. Whenever there was a public sector, they want to take it back. Even in public sector, they want to have the central. And the state rights have been grabbed. And thereby, even Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission, anybody could come. They want to remove the doors at all. They want to take away the fences. So no reservation. They openly, wantonly, deliberately, willfully, they want to do it. This is the problem. This is the core of the problem. This is the crux of the main problem. We will have to understand. We will have to improvise a methodology. We will have to find out a great solution to this one. That solution is continuously fight, create awareness. And in earlier period, let us go back to the pre-Mandal time. We have convened conferences after conferences. We have regional agitation everywhere. And there were so many. But unfortunately, the Northern Indian leaders, they are more confined with their political arena than their social side of it. But anyhow, it is high time that we will have to create awareness in that field also. For that, we will have to go a long way. Many miles to go. Even to cover the area is different. Even the area in which we will have to protect it. They want to steal the fence. They want to encroach upon. This encroachment is going on. You'll have to stop first the encroachment and get solidified. Very important thing. Consolidate your own thing. First is getting more thing. We will have to try to consolidate the victories, the legacies that were given by our forefathers, by our four leaders who fought incessantly for our rights. That is more important. So the creamy layer, the private sector, and the basic, I would like to appeal to all the members of our parliament and eminent people like our Wilson and also even the North India. You kindly speak to the other people also. The composition of the Supreme Courts and High Courts should also be see the light of the social justice unless and until this was done, no social justice will thrive. Because after all, whatever may be laws that are passed in the legislatures, in the parliament, ultimately in our system, in our cabinet system, it goes to the judiciary. When the judiciary, their approach is after all, is, their view is very different. So we will have to create public opinion. But we need not be pessimistic. Let us all be optimistic. If public opinion marches forward, then automatically law will come limping behind. The laws will also be tested by the proper authorities during that. Even you take the Mandal Commission example. When it was earlier, the Mandal Commission portion, the Section 9 and others, when it was done, it was openly, we have entered the public agitation, and thereby we created a public education, public opinion through public education continuously. So, my dear brothers and sisters, I don't want to take much of your time. You are all, this is an august audience. And you know the problem. First of all, where we are, what is the hurdle race? What are the hurdles? How to remove these hurdles? We have to carry on the public. We always lose your belief and faith in the public. You take the example of United States, the election results. There were news items because he said that may be by way of example of putting it. That's a different country and democratic and all these things, whatever it is. There is a news item. The judges are lifetime judges, they are appointed. And even before the election, when one judge passed away, that vacancy was filled up very urgently by the Trump administration. That was yielded very criticism, heavy criticism. In spite of it, he never bothered. He openly said, no, I will go to the court and all these things. So whether this kind of situation will bother, if you create public opinion, we will have to continuously create public opinion. First of all, let us unite together. The strength, if you are not divided, if you are united, then we will achieve and create a public opinion through the various symposiums. But for this corona virus, COVID-19, by this time, people like Karunanidhy and myself and others, they will go to each entrance of all the central government offices, all the government offices, and thereby we will appeal to the backward classes, staff members, and other members also. Because, see, we want to carry all the people, including our scheduled caste brother and scheduled tribe brothers and all these things. And let me give one more explanation about one thing which quite Interestingly, the fact presented by our where when 69% rule was 31, when we invoked, when we suggested Madam Jayalalitha, she was bold enough to achieve this one through an act. Because what was the necessity for the act? Earlier it was only communal GO. We want to gave the suggestion to bring a separate act so that it could be put on the retrospective effect. The GO could not be given retrospective effect. Only the act could be given retrospective effect. That is why it was done 69%. 69% about these kind of things were going on the bundle. In the Indira Gandhi case, there was one interesting thing happened. About the Tamilnadu was represented by one Mr. earlier retired judge, Mr. Subramanian. And Bihar, Lalu Prasad ji and others, that government was represented by our late lamented, our Ram Jethmalani. The question was, they were discussing about Balaji, no, 50% ceiling is all these things. This was in the discussion. And immediately, Ram Jethmalani stood up. Whether you can give 100% reservation, reserve, you mean you want to, don't want stipulation? This question was posed from the bench. Then Ram Jethmalani, the senior lawyer, stood up and said, why not? If there are 100% tribal people, then they have no way out. Only you will have to 100% reservation. That is not a mistake. That's a national crime. That is how we answer. So our population, yeah. And most important, we will have to raise another question is, during the census, the ensuing census, we will have to insist all our organizations should pass a resolution and create public opinion. Already we are doing it. Already this organization, I appreciate and I congratulate. You have already passed a resolution and insisting upon whenever and wherever the opportunity is there, we have won them. We will have to see that next is census, the caste-wise census. Immediately they say, the so-called broad-minded people, so-called progressives, they say, oh, you want to a casteist approach? You want to revive the caste? No. When you go to the matrimonial column, it is nothing but caste. When you want to go to other rituals, it is nothing but a casual. When you want to change your thread, it is nothing but, is it not nothing but a caste? All these things. So the symbol of caste, we are not asking caste to be. You tomorrow pass an ordinance, there is no caste in India, only one caste. Let us also be compromised with you. This is a question. So very important. Caste must be completely recorded in the ensuing census. That is more important. And unless and until this is done, no proportion of the population could be argued. Why they are deliberately denying this right? Because so that they don't want, because they are minority. They are very few, microscopic minority. That will be evidence. That is why they don't want, during that one, they want to be very progressive. When the question of approaching, they want to say, no, 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 even we will offer 10% reservation for them. After they have given 10%, it exceeded 50%. Then that 50% argument, they are not at all invoking nowadays. This is a secret. This is their approach. This is their craftiness. This is their cunningness. You kindly understand this one. So let us all be aware what all the things be, what are the hurdles, what are the problems before us. Privatization, ask private sector, reservation private sector. Let us create public opinion. And there must be social justice in the courts of the land, the high courts as well as the Supreme Court. This is more important. And also the creamy layer should go. And whatever this is, if there is a proportional representation, we are not asking anything. But the very object of the RSS and BJP, their philosophy, their principle is from Kolwalkar time onwards, they want to do away with the reservation. Why they are insisting economic criteria? Economic criteria was not at all imposed by us. The Manu did not impose economic criteria. Only the social monopoly and the education monopoly created this kind of situation. And last but not least, where is the necessity for reservation? We are not asking that reservation must continue in perpetuity. We are not for that. We are for abolition of reservation. We are for cancelling of the reservation, provided, that is more important, provided if you remove the caste. If you create everything, you see, in railways, a very simple analogy I would like to quote and finish my speech. If you travel by railways, then there is reserved compartment and unreserved compartment. In the unreserved compartment, people will jump through the windows. People will jam together, overcrowd them. But if you travel in the aeroplane, in the plane, nobody pushes another person because they know every seat is assured for them, each and every one. There is no quarrel. So create more seats, accommodate all people. We are not against the forward community people. We are not against them. We are for us. We are for the starving people. That the starved people must be fed, must have the priority. That is our question. Because the demand is more, the supply is less, then only the problem arises, then makes the reason that there for this reservation. That is why, if you want to do away with this one, kindly create more seats, more doctors, more medical colleges. Why should you ask the other states to contribute? The central government has got so much of money, and you take back all our states in the revenues to them. And why not create so that the health infrastructure should see that no COVID, no virus should once again invade our country, means create more doctors and give opportunities for everybody. If everybody is assured, everybody is it, then where is the necessity for reservation at all? This is the proper answer, ultimate answer. That is why, my dear brothers and sisters, it is the right time that you have started the great social academy to create awareness, to get public education. You also extend your wings and meet all our people and bring everybody into the one umbrella. Let this be an all India movement. This may be a smart one, as very rightly pointed out by the man who landed in the moon. This may be a small step for me, but a giant leap for mankind, humankind. This is the thing I would like to remind you. This may be a small step by the Backward Class Association, but this must expand as a giant leap for the whole of the depressed and the downtrodden who are facing the social justice is now at the crossroads in this country. Let us save social justice. Let us fight for our rights. Let us save democracy. Let us save secularism. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful exposition of the subject today. You have clearly given a vision of the challenges, the creamy layer concept, the reservation in judiciary, reservation in private sector, and the census, caste-wise census. These are all the immediate challenges on which we have to create the public opinion. And as rightly pointed out, this is a small step by the association. But likewise, so many associations are today in the forefront taking up these challenges. And I think we'll be able to build a strong movement across the country with your guidance and the support from all the like-minded people on social justice. And due to this time lag, we are not able to entertain the questions, and we will have a separate discussion on this All India Quota, which is having a challenge in the court, and a lot of opinions are coming. As our Justice A.K. Rajan has also come out with a book challenging this All India Quota. I think we should have a separate discussion on the subject in the coming days. We will do it also. This is our first web series, number 1, which is being inaugurated and given a wonderful lecture by our respected Asiriya. And our second series will be on post-based roster, which will be done by month end of November 28th and 29th by 2 days. We will have a post-based roster. What is roster system? How these appointments are being done by the departments, how the vacancies are being filled in the reservation quota, how the roster system is maintained by the departments for various categories, OBC, SC, ST, ex-servicemen, and orthopedic challenged people. For all these things, there is a reservation roster. That will be a wonderful lecture, which will be taken by one of our senior persons. And we are arranging that our next series will be on that. And every month there will be a minimum 1 series. At least we will try to have 2 series, but at least minimum 1 series on a topic of very much necessary for our people to know about that. And with this, I now request our Madam Malarkodi, who is the Trustee of the Empower Trust, to say the vote of thanks. Madam, unmute பண்ணிட்டு பேசுங்க. Unmute பண்ணிட்டு பேசுங்க.
Hello. Yes.
ஐயா மலர்கொடி மேடம் பேசணும். vote of thanks.
ஒரே நிமிஷம். மேடம் அன்மியூட் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? மலர்கொடி மேடம் பேசுங்க.
அனைவருக்கும்
இப்ப கேக்குது, பேசுங்க.
Good afternoon to all. On behalf of the Social Justice Academy, wing of our Union Bank OBC Employees Welfare Association, I sincerely thank Asiriya, Dravidar President, for coming and giving a wonderful lecture on the subject of reservation, threat to reservation policies, and the way forward we have to take. And our senior advocate, Wilson, Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, for coming and giving a wonderful lecture. And other leaders from Union Bank and other representatives from any organizations and our federation members for attending this meeting. Nearly 100 people are attending this meeting, and 450 people are attending through Facebook. And Senior Advocate Wilson sir explained chronologically and how through many amendments we were able to get the reservation rights. It is a fundamental and constitutional right. By so many leaders struggle, and they fought and brought all these provisions for us. We felt as if we were in a classroom of a law college. So it was very, very interestingly has brought out the facts very chronologically and interestingly on how this was taken forward. But now the people are counteracting to through back doors to not to give the reservation. So he has categorically mentioned how we have to take forward to protect our constitutional and fundamental rights. So the concept of equality was brought through this reservation. He was explaining it very nicely. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your rich experience with us. And as usual, Asiriya, has given a detailed study of Mandal Commission report and how VP Singh last his prime ministership in the process of implementing Mandal Commission report and what are the provisions set in the Mandal Commission, but how people are counteracting by introducing creamy layer, 10% reservation and privatizing and not giving our fundamental right of reservation through many means. So this is very clearly brought out in the process of not giving reservation in medical college seats, and our Wilson sir is fighting for that in the court, and our Karunanidhy sir also is giving data and fighting in all sorts way, whatever is possible, they are fighting. So thank you very much, Alfred sir, for coming and giving this wonderful lecture of the first web series of our Social Justice Academy. And I thank Voice of OBC editor Partha Sarathi and our All India leaders Ravinder Ram, Madhusudan Samal, Sirvi, Majumdar, Rebak Handik, Sanjay Neele, and many other representatives and committee members are attending this meeting. I register our sincere thanks on behalf of the Social Justice Academy for coming and attending this meeting. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Just in continuation of our thanks, participants are from Assam, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, and Delhi, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamilnadu, Kerala. All the states they have participated in this web series number 1. I think it is really a moral booster for us that for this encouragement, and also the interest shown by our people to learn things. That is very important. More than our participation, they are interested to know things, and so that we will be able to bring a strong movement across the country. With this, we end up this web series number 1. We will look after your continued cooperation in the forthcoming series also. With this, we wind up this program. Thank you all. Thank you, our respected leader Asiriya and our honorable MP Wilson sir. Thank you, Madam Malarkodi and Ravikumar, compiling things. Thank you.